everybody, welcome to this flower crown workshop in support of UK Garden Day on Sunday the 10th of May. Hopefully you've got my instructions and you have got yourself a base to put your flowers and foliage on. Everything here is just picked from the garden, so yes, I'm lucky, I've got a lovely garden. But there, so I'm starting off with some Elaeagnus foliage. Just going to hold it like that, cut small. Get my wire, this is just standard garden wire. Leave an end free for you to tie on. Place the foliage onto your base and then just wire it on. It's very simple really. You need to do it a couple of times, not too tight, but enough to hold it in place so it doesn't twist around. Leave the wire long and then just come along adding your foliage as you wish. Now you could make an all foliage crown, and this is a very simple, easy to make crown. Take your time, don't rush, enjoy it. You see the variation in shade there? Beautiful, this shrub, Elaeagnus. Silvery grey leaves on the underside and limey green on the top. And aren't we lucky with this glorious weather? So just wind it around a couple of times, that's all, one or two. Next I'm going to add some lilac, I think. And again, plenty of lilac in the garden this time of year. Woody stems are great for this type of flower arrangement because it's obviously going to be out of water and they need to be hydrated. So sorry, it's not going to be hydrated, so you need flowers and foliage that's going to be long lasting, which is why I suggested you picked everything and put it in water the night before. Anything you pick from the garden you need to pick at least 24 hours ahead if you can, or 12 hours ahead, so that it gets a good long drink. So you can see there's nothing complicated in this at all. If you haven't got wire, string will work, anything really. Next I'm going to use this beautiful stachys rabbit's ears. It's not going to last very long, we know that, but it's pretty and it adds just that soft element and touch. It's important when you're making any arrangement that you think about the texture as well as the colour. Different textures add interest and give you that really professional look. Now obviously if I was making this for a bridesmaid or a bride, I would be taking a lot more care. I'd be wiring every individual bunch to ensure that it was hydrated for the day. But this is just for fun and just for us. How beautiful is that? Bit of a thistle from the garden, just coming out. And I liked the pop of that really vibrant colour. I hope you do too. But use anything, apple blossom, any blossom from the trees. Like I say, any foliage, lilac, there's plenty of that around at the moment. Again, another lovely bit of foliage there. Nice woody stem again, which ensures that it's going to be long lasting. And because it's quite light, this one, I'm going to bunch it up together like that to give me a good strong form. And literally you make sure you're binding everything, covering everything, so that you don't have any gaps. But honestly, it's just a question, get out there in the garden. Everything's growing so well at the moment with the weather, and let's really make the most of it. What shall I use next? Another bit of the Elaeagnus. And try and repeat as you're going along. So I started with the Elaeagnus, I've got the lilac, I've got the stachys, I've got the thistle foliage, so now I'm back on with the Elaeagnus. And if you keep it on a running rhythm, repeat, it's easy to do. Sorry about the crow, but I do love cockerel. I do live in the country, so what do you expect? As you can gather, it's not first thing in the morning, but that poor old cockerel always crows day and night. Okay, another bit of lilac there. Well, so he's really jabbering on, I suppose. We've got some accompaniment from him. I've taken great delight during this lockdown to really benefit from my garden, and it's been lovely actually watching everything grow. The bluebells in the wood at the bottom have been absolutely fantastic. You can see, just carry on. It's not taking long at all, but you see what I meant. I mean, I've got far too much here, but it's much better to have more than not enough. You don't want to look stingy. So again, Elaeagnus, lilac, stachys, thistle. So Elaeagnus, a little bit there, lilac. So now I'm going to bring more of the stachys in. And you're just following that line all the way along. This stachys is beautiful. It will actually, later on in the season, you'll have little pink flowers on it. I'm lucky, it likes my soil and it's growing like a weed out there. So my husband didn't moan too much when I picked it. That is one of the disadvantages on being on lockdown. I'm having to pick from the garden. So I'm trying to be careful in what I pick so that I don't totally destroy all the plants, because they are only just coming through. It's a lot to do, but you can even, on your walks, look in the hedgerows and, if you do collect anything, we're not allowed to pick bluebells. I hope you realise that. They're protected. But there's plenty of wildflowers along the hedgerows and in the woods. So a couple of stems isn't going to hurt anyone, is it? If it makes you happy, anything we can get to keep us in a better frame of mind. So I hope you can see how that's coming along now. It's looking quite good there. So a bit more foliage on the end here. Now I'm going to finish it a bit short because you've got the idea, you know what to do. It's not rocket science. Just bundle your stems in. If you think they're a bit too long, tie them on first and then cut off the longer lengths when you're finished. Right, okay. So I'm going to finish mine here. Maybe a little bit of Elaeagnus. And if when you've finished and you put it on and you think, oh, I've got a gap there, it's very simple to add in another piece of foliage or flower. In fact, I haven't got my apple blossom in, so you can see how beautiful that is. So I'm actually just going to pop a few bits of those in. And for that, any extra bits, cut the wire short a couple of times, 1, 2, that'll hold it, and then just place it in. So where do we think? I think it looks like I've got a bit of a gap here. I'm going to wire it in there. And don't be frightened, just have a go. And bear in mind, put more in than you think. I'm actually just going to put those two bits together. So I hope that you'll be a little bit inspired. It'll give you something to do. We seem, apart from baking, I don't know about you guys, but I've done nothing but bake, and I don't like baking. But I suppose that's a sign of the times we're in. Plus as well, my boys have to be fed. And I don't know about you guys, but they're eating me out of house and home at the minute. Okay, right. So, there's my floral crown. Alright, so I'm just going to put it on. Hopefully I haven't got too many gaps. But if I have, when I've checked in the mirror, I can go in and see. And that's it. Happy UK Garden Day. Enjoy!